How long gone? Coming to you live from the Great White North, my favorite city, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the Four Seasons Hotel here in beautiful Yorkville. Them jeans, what's really good, baby?
Oh, just forgot to bring my microphone on this trip, so you guys are going to hear this Zoom call. Sorry about that, but I'm just standing. I can kind of be hands-free, so I can walk around my hotel and look at
Great,
this beautiful city.
great. Yeah,
I could pack. I can get dressed while I'm podcasting.
that's true. It's a rare opportunity for you to multitask. But yeah, it's the heat wave is continuing on the East Coast. Toronto is absolutely scorching steam coming off the concrete. It's like we all live in Arizona now, and that wasn't kind of the deal I made. So
I haven't been outside yet. Have you been outside?
yeah, I went to Whole Foods to get lunch and a coffee at the cleverly named Jacked Up Coffee that I told you about earlier.
What did you have for lunch?
I had some sushi, Whole Foods sushi, one of my go-tos.
Okay, Whole Foods sushi. I ordered a club sandwich.
So did Alex.
Club sandwich is kind of the only thing club sandwiches from Four Seasons are mostly what I've eaten in the last 2 days,
But those
which I
are
guess is a good problem.
were those considered to be? I mean, I feel like most hotels try to get too creative with the menu now. So it's like finding
hmm
one is becoming more and more difficult, is what I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, usually, a lot of people consider the Four Seasons club sandwich to be, it's a legendary sandwich that should
Really?
never leave the menu.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
just basically any like high quality hotel that has 24-hour or late night room service, like the club sandwich and fries and a Coke kind of thing is like the traveler's meal. It's
All
what
right, George
Tony would have
Clooney.
had.
All right, George Clooney. All right, up in the air. Relax.
But that's kind of the vibe. But the problem is every hotel, even every Four Seasons, is different. Like the one that I ate for lunch in Chicago yesterday was called a turkey BLT, and it was not served on a standard toasted white bread
Oh no.
double decker, triple decker. It was on kind of like a roll, a
Oh, come on.
hoagie of some sorts. It was pretty delicious. Wait, hold on, I have a phone call.
They Chicago'd it.
Hello. Yes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm okay. I needed it right now, but it's all good. I appreciate you checking though. Hello, Chris. You're on with Jason.
Go over Jason, please. We got up this morning at 5 a.m. to head to beautiful Midway, which is the kind of gutter of airports. Jason described it as an airport where no one's flown in 10 years or more. And you can kind of tell by their behavior and luggage choices. Um,
Well, before we went inside, I was like, "Oh, this is
before
like a
we went
bus.
inside.
This is a bus station with airplanes." Is what it was.
It is,
But
it is. There's
there
no, but
was you got popped at TSA, but there was like a long line of people in front of you waiting, queued up to have
Mhm.
their bags inspected by one of these TSA people, and everyone in front of you was having like their like water bottles pulled out of their suitcases,
I saw,
and
I saw,
like you can't bring water bottle on the plane, and they're like, "Oh, wouldn't you know it? Okay, I'm sorry."
no, I saw so many. Like, there's like a high school girl and her dad in front of me, and he was just kind of like waiting with her. And then the guy opened her like toiletry bag and just threw most of it away because it was all just too big. And the dad was just looking at her like, "Why did you do that? We talked about this." He was very frustrated. But yeah, the airport, the Midway is at least in my estimation, Ben Edgar might argue with me, but it feels much closer to the city of Chicago than O'Hare, and it flies.
Sure.
Porter flies from there to Toronto Island, which is the most central airport in Toronto, puts you right in the city. and you're like 15, 20 minutes from downtown, which is a real blessing.
Toronto Island.
In Toronto Island. But we had a great show in Chicago last night. Thank you for everyone who came out to that. It was a nice rowdy crowd for us, and I just want to give a shout out to the Bottom Lounge for being great. Those guys are good sports. They really take care of us over there, and we had a nice dinner afterwards with Ben, and Sam Vergoza from Talk Easy was in town, and we went to Tivoli, a restaurant I'd been to before that was quite good.
Quite good, quite good. It was shout out to Sam. It was cool having a fellow podcaster in the crowd. We should have brought him up on stage to haze him or something, but what are you gonna do?
I left my wooden paddle at home, so it would have been fruitless
to virtually haze him, man, virtually. Yeah, I like that restaurant a lot. Actually, it's a real fastball down the middle, no fuss, no muss spot. It was like if the food at Houston's was really good.
Yeah,
the food at Houston's isn't bad, but it's not great.
The lighting in this place is too dark for me, which I don't know if that's true or if I'm just getting old, or maybe it's a nice combination of both. But
it's perfect lighting for a date night, date number 3. But yeah, I was feeling like old man trying to look at the menu with his flashlight on the phone.
Yeah.
I did not do that, but I was like, oh damn, is it gonna happen? But it didn't happen. I found my lighting.
You were moving the menu very close to your face for a period of time, which we all were. It's not.
No.
Yeah, and it's an extensive menu, so there's a lot. It's pretty big, and it is like Houston's in the sense that it's one of those restaurants where you can get a hamburger, but also they have a nice, concise sushi menu for white people. That is kind of a hit every time for me as a person who likes sushi and a white person.
Could I see the sushi menu that features Chipotle aioli, please? That's the one I'll be after.
They don't ask me that; they just hand that to me. I don't have much of a choice.
It is actually kind of interesting when it's very much like when the remix better than the original, or when the cover version of a song is better than the original. This is a cover version of Houston, but I think the food is better.
Oh, it's definitely better
by a country mile.
Well, it's a little.
What are the examples of songs that are where the covers maybe better? There's
of course.
I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston.
The Whitney
Dolly
Houston
Parton.
version is better than Dolly Parton version, in my opinion. But I think that's a pretty.
It comes damn close. Is that the closest it comes to? Or I think there's a couple Mariah Carey ones where she might slay it.
I think there's also
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of songs that people don't even realize are covers because the cover version is so big, and that's the only one that anyone knows. And when you look into it, you're like, oh, wait a second, that was actually like a 60s girl group song or something,
Sure. I mean, you and I know, but
of course,
a lay person.
Yeah, of course.
A lay person. There was
a casual
Landslide.
Listener. Oh, Landslide's a great one. Yeah, Landslide's a great one. I prefer the original, but Landslide's a great one. Good one. Jason's really in his bag. All right, Sirius XM, calm down.
I'm a DJ, man.
Hey, bro, at my court, I'm a DJ, man.
Yeah, speaking of, a guy last night gave me a pair of We Are Your Friends, the 2000, I don't know what year film, the DJ film starring Zac Efron. There's a clear Ray-Ban Wayfarers kind of.
Yeah.
It was a little LMFAO-ish, and they were just like a chic kind of understated We Are Your Friends logo hit on the side. Nice piece.
I think chic is being very generous, but it's not aggressive or super ugly. So that is good. I like that. They're
taking a page out of The Row with their subtlety.
Yeah, that's a really nice. Honestly, it's a really nice thing for a listener to bring to you. It's like a listener brought me. This is in Boston. I think he brought me that Stussy shirt, the Liam Gallagher Stussy shirt, the photo shirt, and I was like, damn, this is so sick. This is like something I actually want. I'm very grateful for this. It made me feel very good.
Rare when those things happen. I it is such a nice gift, but I wonder when you get a really nice gift like that from a stranger, do you feel as if it's like a mafia style thing where like one day I will come to you, them jeans,
I
and
think
I
it's the
will require a favor.
I think it's more like I would buy something for you that I know you would like if I saw it. You know what I mean? And they're doing that for a person they
They're
don't necessarily.
practicing the art of gift giving the way you do it, but you just happen to be a parasocial friend
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you
Exactly.
in order and also in order for me to give this gift to you, I have to pay
Yeah, yeah,
money, I have to buy
yeah.
a ticket to give you this gift.
That
And
makes it
that's what
better.
I call that's a good friend.
That's a great
It's a
friend.
good parasocial friend.
None of my real friends would buy a fucking ticket to give me a gift. I'll tell you that.
No, that's actually that's right. I would say none of mine either, but you would, but nobody else would.
I would if it was good. I mean, I just think if you see something, like if you see something that really speaks to one of your friends or loved ones and it's, reasonably priced, it's like, why not? It makes someone feel so good to give it to them. Why would you not do that? You know what I mean? It's no
What
sweat
if
off
it's
my
not
back.
reasonably priced? What is the cutoff?
I would say for like a fun kind of, I did this for no
And
reason.
I don't want a dollar amount. I want a percentage of your total annual income. Just
No,
kidding.
no.
I'll take a dollar amount.
Oh, you know what? I'll settle for a dollar amount. I would say like a couple $100 is probably the max on something
We'll
like
cap it
that.
at two.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I spent more on that painting I got for you, but that was too good. The
Cat
the,
Williams?
the Cat Williams painting was too good. I just had to cop. And like you can't.
You spend more than 200 for that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I just don't
Wow.
I just can't like, well, it's also like that's from an actual artist. Like I'm not gonna haggle with him. You know what I mean? That's not
True.
that'd be rude and
You're an art
disrespectful.
supporter.
I'm a supporter of the artist, but I think that a couple $100 is nice. I mean, just to make someone's day, I can't put a price on that, but it feels like a nice thing to do.
Okay, follow-up question in the
Sure.
similar vein. When you're about to fly
Hmm.
and the first class upgrade, like they make you the offer,
Hmm.
what is the over under dollar amount on average on taking that shot?
I mean, I'll do kind of whatever. It depends on how long the flight is. Like if it's over 12 hours, then I
Oh,
think
right.
around $1,000 is pretty reasonable for that. I think if it's
Okay.
less, I think if it's less than that, I would say, 500. And if it's not if it's a continental US flight, it's not worth it. And it really,
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
agree. I agree.
So what
Yeah,
did you do?
even I did Toronto to London tonight. I think it was like a little under 700.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be fresh because you have to go like be on as soon as you get there, basically. I think that's an
Yeah.
investment. I think that's an investment in your future and a nice, respectful thing to do for the couple that you'll be blessing with your tunes.
Wow, way to frame it. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, but I think that there's just that like those little things in life. It's funny because especially that situation. It's like you kind of have to make the decision relatively quickly. Like you kind of have to just
Mhm.
be like, am I doing this or not? And it's just two different kinds of people. But for me, it's more, I consider, I think
You're a
what I have.
trigger puller.
I'm a known trigger puller to much to my detriment, but I do think that there's like you know, like what do I have to do as soon? You have to consider many factors beyond just like, is how much
Yeah,
money
yeah,
do I
yeah. Am
have?
I gonna go land, pull up to the Taco Bell drive-through, pop a nice fatty, and watch Rick and Morty till I pass out? Then yeah, maybe you don't need it. But if I, like you said, if I need to be on and popping, no Kendrick, then you know this is an investment in
It's
someone.
an yeah. We should talk about Kendrick because I've seen some clips from the Dusty pop out show that took place at
Dusty
crypto.com.
Pop Out was Dolly Parton's original name, and we ended up not going with that one last minute.
No, Dusty Popow was her dobro player, and he sadly passed away. But he was a great guy, really, really talented. He could also
Dusty
do pedal
Pop
steel.
Out is yeah,
Dusty
just pedal
Pop
steel.
Dusty Pop Out should be Kendrick Lamar's new nickname. He dressed like Tupac. What's Dusty been
he
dressing like?
paid homage to Tupac, arguably greatest rapper
Bro,
alive.
no one thinks he's the greatest rapper alive.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think. I think
There's a lot of
Tupac's.
white trash people I grew up with that really
That's true.
like
I mean, I think
Tupac.
Tupac is an absolute legend for several reasons, and he was quite ahead of his time and like a pretty progressive thinker, and obviously very talented. But I think people think of him differently than like a spitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, probably because he's kind of like the Hannah Einbinder of rap. He's low key just a theater geek at heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they made him into a different person that he's not the
Yeah,
man. You know what I mean?
that's
Death
exactly.
Row.
So who? Okay, so the pop out Ken and Friends happened last night at the Forum, in Inglewood, which is Kendrick's backyard, which is cool.
And what?
Inglewood, and let's see who. All right, so
I mean, first and foremost, he brought out some dusty people. He had Big Boy in the morning. He had Tommy the Clown. We had, Crumpers Anonymous. I'm a jerk, boys.
dude, this is insane. This is insane.
No, I'm just joking. Some of those people were included. Dr. Dre came out. Other, Tyler, Schoolboy, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the main historical thing is actually bigger than rap. He had the Bloods and the Crips come together on stage.
Yeah, honestly, that's big. That's big.
It is big. It's super big.
Respect to the GOAT then. Never mind.
Someone over at WME was like, this is a great moment. Is there a way that we could monetize? Can we option this story? They're trying to figure out a way to make a buck off of the pop out.
I mean, I'm
Dusty
sure
Pop Out.
the Dusty Pop Out. I mean, the funniest part is Pitchfork has this headline is unbelievable. Kendrick Lamar's Pop Out concert, a West Coast reunion, and unforgettable haters ball. And it's written like the guy starts at 2:50 p.m. and then the whole thing is timestamped like a Drake mixtape. It's crazy. 5:02 p.m., 5:23 p.m. Mustard comes out. It's like you want to see. I do not want to see Mustard come out to Pyrotechnics with Back That Ass Up playing.
Pyrotechnics.
Like what? Who
I
wants
remember
that?
they would do that before. I remember they would do that for Drake shows.
I mean, it's
Give you the play-by-play.
I just can't. There's just nothing Kendrick Lamar can do to be cool. And I guess maybe that's the point, and that's totally okay because it's clearly working so well for him. And I think
him not trying to be cool is what is making him cool. It's him wearing like a windbreaker and some jeans to the most important concert of his life, arguably, is kind of cool. The nonchalant attitude
I
versus
appreciate
Drake having his like 17 wardrobe changes. Like
no,
his
agreed.
fucking
I
Doja
agree
Cat.
with that. I agree with that. I agree with Drake having to get his hair braided 3 times during one 2-hour show. I agree. It's OD. It's not even. It's just like a swag that I just can't appreciate. I don't know what it is. I wish I could pinpoint it. It just doesn't interest me, but it never has, and it never's interested you either.
Well, I'm more akin to it. You're just not like us, Chris. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Oh, okay. All right. That's enough. That's enough.
But
now
I'm so West Coast with it that it's a different language.
You're actually not that West Coast with it. And I think that's if you were, we would probably have some issues because you agree that West Coast is not great for rap music. They've done some stuff.
You agree that West Coast is not great?
I know it's great for living.
I would say if a gun to my head, my alliances and interest in the rap game lie more in the South than in the East or the West.
Yeah, same. I mean, obviously, same for me. I don't have a choice. I was kind of I'm built different in that way.
Yeah,
but I'm sad we missed the pop out. And you know who else missed the pop out is Justin Timberlake, because he was
and Travis Scott.
All these motherfuckers getting arrested. Justin Timberlake he's a known boozer. You know what I mean? Like he hangs out with Jimmy Fallon. Like he's part of that whole. he plays golf. The only reason you play golf is to drink and get away from your family.
Yeah. What do you think JT's drink of choice is? I know there's somebody listening right now who
I'm
wishes he
gonna.
could tell me.
I bet he has his own tequila brand we've never heard of, probably that he sips. Or no, I'm gonna say
Yeah, but
tequila.
if
Tequila.
he's giving 1942 for me.
He's giving 1942, but I think he also has a stake in something that he would probably drink occasionally. You know what I mean? From a
Yeah, but
business,
I think if he had a an alcohol brand
we would know.
that we did not, yeah, if we he would either we would know about it, or it had the ship had sailed and he's like, all right, I don't have to drink this disgusting.
What was Drake's whiskey called?
Oh, you don't know
Kentucky
it. I remember
Kentucky Black? Was that what it was called?
I remember us seeing the billboards all the time.
They had an office in West Hollywood.
Yeah,
Virginia
it was
Black. Virginia
Virginia
Black.
Black.
So hard. That's my aunt's name actually, which is so crazy. Um,
That's right.
yeah, but the JT got I mean, you've seen it. It's been the biggest thing on the internet in the last, year. But Justin Timberlake got arrested for DUI in Sag Harbor. And unfortunately his fit was not on point for the perp walk. And I think the rock star skinnies with the Nikes, it ain't doing you any favors.
Cooked Forces at Cooked Forces. But has Justin Timberlake ever worn a good outfit? I mean, obviously this outfit was bad, and he's not known for being dresser.
I
But
mean,
I can't recall a time ever where he was wearing a good outfit, right?
he's not
No
known.
shade.
He's not known to wear a good outfit, which is unfortunate because he's such a good-looking guy. It's not really hard, but I think that he's so disconnected from reality and also like likes what he likes and just doesn't have the best taste, and he's too rich for anyone to tell him no. That
Hmm.
makes the look suffer. But yeah, I mean, he could look great if he just wore regular. If he just wore, I mean, he's in amazing shape. If he just wore regular clothes, he would look great. You know what I mean? But like, I know you have a Jordan deal, but that white people shouldn't wear Jordans, and I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that hill. That is just
There's this pair of the ugliest Jordans I've ever seen in my life on the real in my size. And like part of like it, they're almost kind of like Gucci colors. It's like black with kind of like a drab olive
uh,
green,
uh,
brown kind of vibe. And they're like $40 or something like that, like for brand new ones. And part
you're
of
like, huh?
me,
You're
it's one
tempted.
of those. It's what I'm so tempted. It's one of those things where I would buy them, and Carolyn would either be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" or like, "Wow, these are sick." There's no middle ground. It's love or chuck it in the or bin them, mate.
Bend
Sorry,
them,
I've been watching
sure,
the footy.
but I think that that's kind of you
But
used to
what am I
dress.
gonna do with those?
You used to dress more like that, and I feel like now you don't, and it's probably good for you.
Yeah, that's right.
You
I have
know.
more self-respect and stuff like that.
Well, I'm glad that you've earned that because you've been putting in work.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I forgot to tell you what
I'm wearing
happened
pants now.
when I was I was leaving
Did you send an
your
email?
yeah. It was urgent.
Okay,
It was urgent.
that's urgent. It was marked
Yeah.
urgent, my bad.
Yeah. The I was on the elevator. So I went to Jason's room to record the podcast as usual. We realized that he forgot his microphone, so I had to come down to the a conference room, and we're doing it on Zoom. When I opened the elevator on your floor, when the elevator door opened, there was an older woman with like a Minnesota kind of accent having a full panic attack because she said she was claustrophobic and she didn't know if the elevator door was going to open.
Oh,
Like she almost fell into my arms. Like I almost had to like, I was like, where are you going? She had to give me a room key. I had to scan the room key so I could go to her floor and then help her with her bag as she got off because she was so shook.
wow.
And I was,
Speaking of the bodyguard, Whitney Houston,
yes, yeah.
all I'm hearing is
And
um oh, I'm hearing a little more Iglesias. Um what is that song called? God damn it. You
Enrique,
singing that song, Enrique Iglesias.
Which one? I got
Hold,
Enrique.
please. Hold, please. It's not Bailamos.
Da-na-na.
Oh, Hero. I can be your
Oh,
hero,
hero,
baby.
baby. I'm glad that I'm giving
That's
Enrique.
a fucking tune.
That is a big, big, big tune. But yeah, it was a very strange
Did
interaction
she
because
thank you afterwards profusely?
not really. She was too shook. Like she was really going through it. Like I like, I was. That's why I was so stunned by it. I was like, oh, this is real. Like this is 100%. Like
And
this woman
she
thought
was behaving like academics on the live stream. She could
exactly.
barely hold her lunch in.
Exactly. She heard it. She heard
She's
a. She heard a beat from Hitmaker, and she couldn't control herself. No, she pushed the emergency button too, so there was all this noise happening when the door opened.
oh my god.
Yeah, it was really
Damn,
something.
she's not built for it. Like I see it all the time, especially mostly when we're traveling. But you see these people that are so debilitated, injured, whatever. They got some real life problems going on with themselves, and I see them in the airport, and I'm like, just just stay home. Some
Yeah.
people just shouldn't just like unless you're going like the only rule is like you're going to like bury a loved one.
Hop on the plane.
That's the only time we got to do this. But otherwise, like if you can't if you're not built for that, or like you're super injured, or like you're just like super fucked up and you need all this help, like don't like why do you even want to be doing this? Just don't you want to just stay at home? Like is it worth it to go
Well,
on this cruise?
I
I'm
saw.
gonna start doing that. It's like when you're driving on the freeway and the traffic's all fucked up and there's an accident and you're like, I better see some blood. I better see something
Oh
coming out of
yeah,
a
for
guy's
sure, for
neck.
sure,
It's
for
that same
sure.
kind of vibe where I want to go up and G check Gma. Like, bro, where are you going right now?
Bro, what are you doing?
You
I
have to
I
be burying someone important in your life right now.
that's good. That's good advice to live by.
Yeah,
I
right.
saw a little while ago on the New York Post that a moped riding armed robber stole a man's $100,000 watch while he was standing outside of Carbone.
Ooh,
And
beautiful.
that feels poetic in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I it reminds me when I went on my trip to Greece and to Georgia, and I decided to leave my watch
You
at
tucked your
home.
chain. You tucked your chain.
I didn't even bring my watch because I didn't know what to expect. And the only thing that happened was I arrived, and everywhere I went, in every place, there were guys who looked just like me who had a bomb ass watch on, and I was looking like a broke bitch compared to everyone. I was
If that
never in danger of
if
being
that's the
pickpocketed a single time.
if that's the case, then I guess I always look like a broke bitch. I didn't know you were such a watch guy now.
Wrist checker. I'm not a watch guy, but
All right, Mike
when you
Nouveau,
when
calm
you look
down.
when you look like me, the watch is the only signifier that you have. You know what I mean?
Sure. I prefer zero signifiers, I think. Like that's you're never gonna catch me with any gold in my mouth, no diamonds in my ears, no chains, no
Bro, you have
ice.
a Louis duffel at the airport. You
But
don't.
the
You don't.
but
It's
Jason,
different.
no, Jason, don't tell the full story. That Louis Duffel is the most understated one they make. It's black damier. It is not logo. There's no logos anywhere. That's that. It's just when you have to. It's like buying the best
It's
of
true.
something is like they make the best duffel bag. They're like the
Wait,
originators.
is this like quiet luxury vibes?
Yeah, it's quiet luxury box. Having the Goyard tote with your initials on it and like a Daffy Duck painted on it, walking through the airport, that's different. That's
Don't come for
different.
my Korean homies.
That's different.
That's so Korean coded.
That's different than me with a black leather duffel bag. It just looks like a duffel bag. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
look, it doesn't. But I think there's
and
something.
I guess if you're a professional watch thief, and you probably know what to do. You drive past Carbone and wait till you see a guy with a gaudy ass watch on, and it's the big red button you got to hit. You're like, I'd be
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
hate myself if I didn't steal this
Exactly. Exactly. When
this
you see the
Mr.
guy that
Brainwash Breitling.
when you see a guy that's had too many bottles
Wait,
of
where'd you walk,
Barolo.
Chris? Your voice is all far away now. Where'd you go?
No, I'm right here.
Okay, now you sound normal again.
Oh, the headphones have moved. Yeah, so when you see the guy outside with he's kind of standing funny because he had too much Barolo and the Nautilus is shining. It's a good victim. You know what I think?
Barolo.
You know what people are doing? I think this is part of it too, is because everyone just smokes weed constantly. I feel like people are now like going outside after a meal and getting so high that they're ready to be victims.
Ugh. And and I guess the problem is when you're drunk and somebody tries to do that, then you end up like getting beat up by three guys because you try
Yeah.
to fight a guy wearing a helmet. And you're drunk. But yeah, I guess when you're high, you just like piss your pants and run, I guess, or you just freeze and
Dude,
they take the watch.
the weed smoking has gotten it's gotten out of control. We got to make it illegal again. We've got like we got whichever presidential candidate will make weed illegal again is who I have to throw my weight behind.
I
This
think I mean obviously weed being legal is cool for me, but I don't think that every city should get it.
I just
I don't think it should be legal street legal in New York. I
here's
think
the
it should be decriminalized and you could
yeah,
smoke it
same.
in your
Of
own
course.
home,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
we shouldn't be allowed to smoke it just on the
Every
street.
just everywhere I walk is like guys are sitting out on public benches with like rolling trays out. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
like this is crazy, dude. Like you carry around a fucking Supreme rolling tray in your backpack. It's so crazy. And the other thing that's funny about it is that you see who really smokes weed, and it's not necessarily who you think it is. Like, of course, it's like teenagers waiting in line for streetwear, obviously, but it's also like
Mhm.
straight up people going to work, like women in pantsuits that change into like from New Balance into their Manolos when they get to the office are smoking pre
Yeah.
rolls outside of the subway station.
Just to cope with life so you're not raw dogging reality.
The other thing that's funny is when you see like construction workers or like chefs, like cooks, in their full look, just smoking weed as fast as they can before they get back to the job where they handle knives or like big machines, which is also very common. Like 6 a.m., all the fellas hitting a blunt before they go build a side skyscraper.
Yeah, just ducking into the
It
parking
just,
garage with the dab rig.
it just seems like a bad idea, but I guess if it was a bad idea, we would have some data to show that. So maybe I'm just a
I think
dickhead.
the data's coming. The data's coming. I don't. There's just nothing about being in like the middle of Manhattan in a public park and then carrying your raw rolling papers, Supreme plastic drug. That's basically just like the tray that lets people know that you're a drug addict. You know what I mean? Like,
It's just yeah, it's just like I don't
but
know.
then when you pull that out in public, and I don't. I mean, I guess I'm envious of people who are like, yeah, I'm just going to get just criminally high, biblically high on marijuana, and then just go about my day through reality, walking around, taking the subway, interacting with people, potentially putting myself into danger when you could just be at your house.
it is a confusing conundrum. I don't know, but I
You
just don't
run into
know.
a person that you run into your boyfriend's parents, and then you have a fucking panic attack.
You
That
have a
doesn't
panic
happen in your
attack.
house.
That's just I don't know where we go from here because the thing is anybody who is a smoker the way you are, which isn't like crazy, but you enjoy it, you would just buy weed from a drug dealer like you did before. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not like it's not like there's not a way. We know how to do it. There's a blueprint on how to do it. That's how it was for years. Decriminalize it, let everybody out of jail, but no more smoking on the street. We got to ban it.
I think it's like when we were talking to Cinderella about it, how like everyone is kind of a nihilist and doom pilled, where it's like what every person for themselves. There's a finite number of resources in the world, and I'm gonna get mine. So like I'm not holding the door open for my common brother.
Hmm.
I'm it's it's kill or be killed, dog eat dog world out there. And I think the same applies to the weed, just with the weed smoking in public, just like this is one of the only freedoms I got and the only thing that brings me
Yeah.
joy in this
Yeah.
fucked up world. So like you're damn right I'm gonna blow this cloud into a policeman's
No, it's a
face
good.
on the street, or you're damn right I'm gonna be wearing my fucking baby onesies and my sweatpants on the airplane because like we're all gonna fucking die soon anyway. So we used to have the common societal norms keep everyone in check, and now we can't do it anymore because we all think we're gonna die.
I don't think I'm gonna die. I don't think I don't think life is fine. It's all good. That's the thing is the people that are smoking that much weed, I feel like their lives are fine. Besides the resellers, you know what I mean? Like I think that most of the like adults I see smoking weed are people with jobs and like 401ks. You know what I mean? It's not like their life is like
Hmm.
they're fine. Like maybe they don't get along with their mom. You know, she's a bitch sometimes, but otherwise that's kind of the end of the problems, you know. But
Yeah,
we're gonna keep a close eye on this because
yeah,
as the
I'm gonna
election
pay
comes
close.
around,
Yeah, it'll be big for the election. I'm hoping maybe Chris can pen a New Yorker piece. Is is marijuana broken?
Mhm.
4,000 words on that.
That's more of like an Atlantic newsletter, which would convert quite well. Yeah, is marijuana broken is a great, simple, kind of to the point title. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. I was
Thank you.
when I walked to Whole Foods today from the hotel, I noticed that because the Yorkville shopping area has been like fully kind of revamped since I first came here, and now it's Brunello Cucinelli, Stone Island, Chanel. It's very very high end. And then
Hmm.
I noticed that there's a Kith that features New York bagel place Sidell's on the block. And I can't you can't get into Kith in New York. It's too popping. Like you have to wait in line almost any time. So
Hmm.
I might go do some sneaker shopping tomorrow. No Joe La Puma. And maybe you think I should try a bagel at Sidell's?
No,
I've had it one time before when it opened, and I don't remember if is it actually bad or is it bad because it's like a
it's
bagel
fine.
tower and it's expensive.
It's fine. Yeah, it'll be. It's no. A bagel's like $37 there or some shit. So like, it's never going to be worth it. But I think now that we're in Canada, you should probably try and track down a nice Canadian bagel, Montreal
Question,
style.
Montreal bagels are bad. Question for you. Question for you. Do you actually think a Sidell's bagel is more expensive than a Courage bagel? Because I bet it's not.
The price could be comparable, but that's just like, saying that like a Hyundai and a Porsche cost the same, but like there is also a difference between the two. One,
But they don't
Courage
cost the
Bagel,
same. That's the difference.
they don't cost the same, is the difference, and one of them is the best car in the world, and one of
Or
them
no, I
is an okay
understand.
one.
No, I understand. I don't think Sidell's is good. I'm not like under any sort of I'm not assuming that it's good. I know it's probably mid like most things, but I just think that like the
Yeah, it's
Courage
probably just
bagel,
fine.
the Courage bagel, $20 for an open faced bagel sandwich, or 20 or more, and the line and going to that part of town is not really a great it's not really a great proposition.
It's probably not $20 for a bagel.
Oh no, yeah, I think it is. I think some of them are $20.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. So if you get a salmon bagel at Sidell's, bagel, tomato, cucumber, onion, capers,
But this isn't the
with the
tower. This
with
is
the
just a bagel
salmon.
sandwich.
I think this is just bagel. This just says house salmon, and that one is $27.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here if this is updated. I mean, they don't have they got
The tower is 125.
I mean, that's just good business because people are stupid and they want to take a picture of it. Like I can't even hate on that. Yeah, here at Courage, we got the wild Alaskan salmon roe, cream cheese and dill for 18. I
Okay,
mean, that seems a little, but that's not salmon, that's salmon roe.
right, right, right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean
But
it's definitely gonna. Courage is definitely going to be cheaper than Sodell's,
Yeah,
1000%.
but I thought it would. I was just I brought this up because I wondered how comparable it was. How close, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's
Sure.
obviously very different experiences. I still never had a Courage bagel, so I
Woo!
I mean I want one, but it's just I can't feel.
You don't come to Los Angeles to eat carbs, and
I
you're
mean
gonna you haven't been to LA in a long time, and you're gonna be there for 24
one
hours next weekend.
less 20, yeah, yeah, 24 hours, and
Sounds like my
I'm
time in T dot. What time
yeah.
do we land here?
We landed here at 10:45 a.m.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll be here for 12 hours.
I think that's kind of all you need sometimes. I mean, if it wasn't so, Toronto summer is pretty magical usually. It's like
Mhm.
it's beautiful and there's like a lot less humidity, but unfortunately we're experiencing the heat wave, so we're all going to die here.
Not me. I have not been outside yet, and I don't plan to. I'm just gonna
I,
go from airport to hotel, hotel to venue, venue to airport.
well, you're going to smoke a
Oof.
cigarette. You're going to smoke a cigarette outside, so you'll eventually get some air.
When it's super hot and humid like this, the cigarette urge is not there for me.
Yeah, that's even, but you were just on the beach, and I feel like you were blowing down.
Oh yeah, that's different.
But okay, so there's levels to this shit, is what you're saying.
No, it was like when you're in Greece on the island of Hydra, it's different. It's much less humid. You got a cool breeze. It's definitely hot, but it's not like this. And you're not wearing a suit either. I'm
That
just
yeah,
wearing my.
yeah, that's
I'm
true.
wearing a Ralph Lauren suit
For bathing,
for bathing. Yes.
for bathing. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'm ready to have a little weekend here, to be honest. I'm feeling pretty road hard to put up wet myself. I did get a workout
Toronto.
in
You love
today.
Toronto.
I did
You
get a
got you
workout
worked
in.
out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Damn, play.
I know. I mean,
I'm proud of you.
I didn't go crazy. I just did it in the hotel. I didn't go to the Equinox. I wasn't ready for that today because that Equinox here is like a cougar mating ground.
So you need to be
Well,
in better
yeah, I
fighting
need to,
shape
yeah, exactly. I
and
did
show
this.
out.
My friend Isabel has like a newsletter and she interviewed me about Corona, like for it came out today. And she'd asked me about my favorite spots. And I realized that the only stuff I know is like in this direct area that we're in, which is very obnoxious of me. Um,
It is.
but
It's
but
like
that
going to LA and not knowing anything other than Brentwood.
I mean, that's not out of the question for me, for sure. But I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true. But it's I have to be myself, Jason,
Yeah, man.
if nothing
Um,
else.
you were talking, or was it this morning? You were talking about how how Brat is growing on you.
Yeah, because that genre of music is usually not something. I mean, I listen to it and I support it, but I don't like listen to it. And Brat has made it into my gym flow. Today I did Brat followed by Disembodied, which is a twisted little combo.
Jesus.
I
Okay.
know, I know.
You've
But
got
I
three people's attention.
yeah, way less, way less. But yeah, I think that
Maddie's liking it.
yeah, Maddie's loving it.
Healy, not Matheson.
I would say both. I would say both
Yeah,
Maddies,
both.
both Maddies in our
You're
life
right.
would have a
Yeah,
disembodied 7 inch.
honestly, I never realized the cross section of Maddie Healy and Maddie Matheson's musical tastes.
Oh,
There
there's a lot
probably
of
is a lot of
crossover.
crossover
A
there
lot of crossover for
in
sure.
terms of hyper niche.
Yes, very hyper niche. Yeah, very hyper niche. But yeah, I've listened to it. I've listened to the gym a lot, and I think that I've realized that with music like that, the gym is as close as I'm going to get to the club as far as my heart rate. You know what I mean? So I think like like when you're on Molly at a club and your heart is racing, that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to get on the treadmill, and that's where I have to listen to it to fully understand it.
Okay, when you're on the treadmill listening to Brad, are you running normally, or do you find yourself and your body doing different things that you might not normally do? Or are you clicked in with the beat? Are your hips moving a little bit? Are you air
My hips.
drumming? I know you like to air drum.
I love to air drum. The air drumming with that is tough. It's more like sampling You know what I mean? Like I'm more of doing a button push
Fred
motion,
again
and
style.
I'm doing Fred again at the Coliseum style hand motions versus a classic,
Okay.
drumstick move.
Mm.
But my hips might move a little more. That's actually a good.
You're
It's a
not
good.
singing yet, though.
I'm singing a little bit. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Club Classics is stuck in my head right now. I can't. I mean,
Okay.
what am I supposed to do? Not. I have to. I don't think that I can. I'm excited to hear this Lord version, the Lord remix. I feel like that's big for um the culture, quote unquote.
Our culture, gay.
Yeah. Well, I just think that it's like I think they're actually friends, so it feels like a real. It doesn't feel like a record label put this together. And I think that's something people respond to whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, I think it's a good example. I guess it's why they have such strong fan bases and success, Lord and Charlie, where like all the things that they do feel real and actually happening. And like, what if we just did this? I'm brave enough to try this, or talk to this person about a weird relationship I have, and then write a song about it with that person instead of like being like a catty Taylor Swift
Yeah, where everything's
stan. I hate this
coded.
person. They're the enemy, and no one's ever gonna come out and say that this song is about this person. And Charlie's like, yeah, this song's about this person. This song's about Dasha. This is about
Yeah, it's
Sophie. This
cool.
one's about having a baby. This one, like, there's no like, I wonder what she means by this. She's like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
it's
what I
true.
mean by this because I
This is
called people out by name,
yeah, it's good. I agree. It's
and
cool.
people like that.
I saw that one of your favorites, Sabrina Carpenter, hitting the road, the short and sweet tour. And she's doing big boy arenas as well. And I think that Sabrina is going to do just fine. That's my guess for this. She's not going to have Black Keys J-Lo issue. She's going to be more Olivia Rodrigo and pack the house every night is my guess.
she she only has espresso as a certified bop, though, right?
There's a new one that dethroned Espresso as like the number one song. It's called Please,
Y-
Please, Please.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think people are really
I mean, I think
like,
it's
obviously it's a sophomore slump, so it's never gonna hit. But like, I think a lot of people are kind of like, oh, it's alright. I've never listened to it, and you haven't either. So what does that say?
I haven't listened to Espresso by choice. Like
What?
it's no, I don't listen to shit like that. I just
I
don't.
mean,
It
it's
doesn't.
kind of unavoidable, though.
You think that, but I don't. I'm not listening to. That's a song you hear on the radio. I feel like a lot, or in like a commercial or at the grocery store, which are places that
Hmm.
I'm not spending a lot of time in. If I wanted to hear Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, I would have to go click on it. Is the truth?
Interesting. I mean, I've never clicked on it, and I've heard it 100 times.
That's because you use Spotify. I think that's the. I
Mm.
honestly think that's a big difference because I mean I think all that stuff about Spotify like pumping it and making it like the song that plays automatically after kind of anything is true.
Hmm.
And I
Maybe,
think
I
that's
mean, in the same way that Kara Swisher keeps getting porn on her Twitter, kind of
exactly
way.
exactly. This is so weird. I don't listen to
Because I
anything like
listen
this.
to a lot of bad music on my Spotify, and I've never had it autoplay Sabrina Carpenter.
I don't think it's about music being good or
But
bad.
I'm just one
I,
person.
I think it's more about like it. I saw. I mean, I mentioned this when I wrote about it in the GQ story, but there was like the like somebody posting that like, are y'all fucking playing with me? And it was like a Nina Simone playlist, and when it ended, it started playing Sabrina Carpenter. and,
It
and that's just funny. But I mean, even
is
if it
funny.
but I think that look, if it's a little old school kind of payola, like radio style, I'm for that. I think I want
Yeah, I'm fine with
everything
it.
to it's like athletes using performance enhancing drugs. Let people do whatever they can. It's so competitive. You got to just let people do whatever they want.
I think people are okay with it as long as the song is in fact an earworm, and Espresso absolutely is.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas a lot of other people try to, like, stop trying to make XYZ a thing. It's not going to be a thing. Like, the product has to deliver ultimately, or else it's not
Yeah,
going
you
to
can't.
happen.
Yeah, you cannot fully like. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
her name is BB Rexa. They've been trying for years, and
don't
it won't
don't
take.
don't talk about the yassified Megan Trainor like that, bro. That's too. You got to give her
Oh,
more. No, I mean, but the thing about Vivi Rexa that's different is if I'm not mistaken, she's like written several big hits for other artists. So therefore, the record label will keep letting you try. I feel like because you've made them so much money.
she's the four non blondes of
Mhm.
whatever those types of things are.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that's a
I'm
great.
not
Yeah.
calling her a person. I'm calling her a thing.
Yes. Oh, I got that. I got that. I got that.
Um, our boy Travis Scott got a DUI as well
That's lit.
on a something involving
I don't
getting in
know.
a
I don't
fight
know.
on a boat.
He
It
didn't
wasn't
get
a
a
DUI.
DUI. That was the thing. He didn't get a DUI, but it feels very similar to a DUI. To a
He
DUI.
wasn't drunk driving a boat, but he wasn't not drunk driving a boat.
Hmm.
Kind of. I think it's a little gray. He tried to get in a fight with a guy. What's going on? What's going on in the world? All of our nation's stars keep getting arrested or convicted, and meanwhile,
Well,
Chris Brown walks free.
Chris Brown walks free. Chris Brown's getting his ass pinched for 1,000 a person at the meet and greet. He's doing better than walking free. Don't.
That's like kiss the chef at the prom club. Pay a stack. I'll pinch your ass, your big ass cheek.
No, but yeah, I mean, no, Breezy didn't pop out of the Kendrick Lamar pop out, did he?
No. I
That's
would have
LA.
known.
That's
I would
LA.
have got a push notification.
That's LA legend right there, bro. How are they gonna do him like that?
He's not an LA legend.
Breezy is clicked up. He's, I believe, affiliated with the Blood Gang.
He's affiliated with some kind of dust smoker, dust smoking
Yeah,
collective.
he's smoking dust like you and your little graffiti friends.
He's one of the shot callers in the Pyrenees tech that handles catalytic converter theft. It's
His
not necessarily in the top of the food chain in the
no,
criminal ring, but maybe
his
I do importing, exporting, huffing, and
the
catalytic converters.
the Chris Brown, like when it showed, I think it was an MTV Cribs, and he had done all the graffiti all over the walls of his like multi-million
Oh
dollar
yeah.
Hollywood Hills home, is truly
Hmm.
one of the greatest pieces of celebrity content ever created.
And Justin Bieber graffitiing a gorilla
Yeah.
on his like
Who's
garage.
okay? We can get Paulie and Al on the phone, but who's better at graffiti, Chris Brown or Justin Bieber?
I mean, it's a real,
Race
you
to the
know,
bottom.
it's a race to the bottom. But I'm gonna say I feel like Chris Brown has him by a nose.
Okay. I think Breezy's been nasty with the can for a little longer, just based on age. And I also think that maybe if you read the Bible closely, Jason, you'll see that it's not pro graffiti.
Thou shall not do throw up. Thou shalt not etch this toilet seat.
Yeah, that's what, if you read closely, most people just skim the Bible. I'm different. I read every
Uh,
word, and it does particularly mention paint markers versus spray paint.
have you ever read the Bible?
No, no. I
Do you remember when there was a time where that carried shame?
for sure. Yeah, for
I guess
sure.
it still does carry shame, but it's on a different type of shame. Like before, you would feel shame for not reading the Bible for religious reasons, and now people might shame you for like just like general intelligence and knowledge reasons. I guess. You know what
I mean,
mean?
I think. Look, I'm not. I did enough Bible studying and not paying attention that I think some of it soaked into my brain. You know, but I don't need to. Reading the Bible is a fool's errand.
Is that what you're going to tell them at the pearly gates? Look,
Oh,
I think I got most of it through osmosis, just from being around. But yeah,
yeah.
reading the Bible is it's a little bit of a fool's errand. No shade to the Bible readers.
I don't think we have that
Uh,
many. I don't think we have that many Bible readers listening to this podcast right now.
I don't. Sometimes I wonder if my aunt listens. She would be mortified to learn that I don't read the Bible or have never read it. But it can't come as that big of a surprise, right, Auntie?
Is your aunt, is this the one that lives in Virginia?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think she listens.
I hope not. I hope not. Not the way
I
you're
hope not too,
talking.
because we say bad stuff.
We say bad stuff. All right. We got to head to the Great Hall for our show tonight in Toronto. Thank you guys for listening. HowLongGone.com is the website. Tour continues after a few days off. We're picking back up in Atlanta on the 26th at Terminal West. We're also doing a special bowl with our friends Maypole that is going to be available for the week next week at their location in Atlanta, curated by Chef Dim Jeans, which should be delicious. And then we move on to DC, Philadelphia, and finally beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota for the final night of the tour. Thank you guys for listening. And get a ticket, come see us, and we'll see you soon.